our value. And that's one of the good things about associations that I'm not a big fan, but they do help on that and that protects your value as well. Because the property you're buying is an investment. So let's say the people that bought in Cricket Club, actually Violet has sold many properties in there and where I work right now in Lauderhill. And the people that bought there had made original owners. They used to start at 263, if I'm not mistaken, the first ones. Right now, the lowest prices we have are 3 at 285, which are manager specials. Anything else is 296, 300, 311. So imagine if you bought a 260, now you already have at least $20,000-$30,000 of equity.
Yeah,
And so on. So the prices keep going a little higher. We're not a builder that goes crazy increasing prices because we don't want the market to drop again. Because what happens is when everybody gets crazy, start increasing prices, it's going to get to a point that it's unaffordable, and then we have another market crash.
Mm-hmm.
So we try not to do that. We do increase pricing, but slowly. Because I do my comparison with other builders, I see how much they increase, how much we increase. Sometimes we increase $1,000 every other week or once a month. It all depends, how the sales are going. Other builders increase 15, 20,000 at once, from one week to the next. So that's the difference, with us, we try to do things a little more ethically. Right to the buyer, right to their community.
Just gives them the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the HO,
Yeah.
fee,
How?
I know.
how high can it go?
I know, but the general thing.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
It's good to
Yeah.
Right now it's
That's okay.
$125 a month, but
Take some
we
mortgage money.
expect it to be at 145 by the beginning of next year. And that is with everything including reserves.
Just about
That's
the
really
time.
go up
Okay.
that's crazy.
Well,
That's the reason
I
why
can't
it's
tell you
so
how much it's gonna go up every year, but the difference
Yeah.
between a homeowners association and a condo
They were talking about
association
that.
is your fee is not gonna go crazy higher, unless God forbid there's a major catastrophe. But in most cases, condo associations are the ones that can really come and
Yes.
tell you, we have an assessment,
Yeah.
you need to come up with $15,000-$30,000, and if not, they're gonna lien your property, if you don't pay. In in homeowners associations, it's a little more lenient in that sense, and it's not gonna be a brutal thing that when I was in general real estate, I had clients that had to sell their properties because they live in condos and they were assessed and they couldn't afford the assessment. So, that doesn't happen in a homeowners association. There's a difference between a condo association and a homeowners association. So when it's a condo association is when it's a lot more restricted for loans included, income, and many, many more limitations than when it's a homeowners association. It's a little more lenient.
You currently live in a townhome, right?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Not no more.
Oh, not
I
no
just
more.
moved.
Okay.
She's
Yeah, I
like,
had
I'm
to
done
get out
with
of
this.
there. I had
Yeah.
to get out of there.
So what is the grant amount
So
we
right
have?
now, sorry,
No, it's all right, Corona.
with the use of our
I know
preferred
what you're gonna
lenders,
do.
I have to say it because it's the only way you can get the money. We offer $12,000 towards closing costs right now, so that helps quite a bit because your out of pocket is going to be minimum. I don't want to quote you a number because it all depends on the purchase price. It depends on many other things. I don't want to give you an exact number, but I want to say for closing costs without your down payment, out of pocket could be $2,000. Around there, because when you buy new construction, your closing costs are a little higher than in a resale, just because you're going to pay all closing costs. And when you're buying a resale, you have differences between who picks title, who picks this, who picks that.
So in your case, when you offer $12,000 to them, approximately how much
I
are
would
you
say
saying?
about $2,000 out of pocket for closing costs,
Mhm.
give or take. I think the magic number is 15,000 to be safe
From start to finish?
from start to finish.
And you're
but-
giving them 12?
Correct, but I'm talking including down payment on
Mhm.
your loan.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're buying a 285 property, I think your down payment is going to be under $10,000 and a 3.5% loan FHA. We have a new program now. I don't want to talk about it because I don't have a lot of knowledge about it. and I don't do loans. So, but, I mean, I will have to check, I actually sent him a message. We have updating sales meeting all the time, we have one yesterday, and they told us we have a new form of loan with our own lender that we own, the company owns. And, but I don't know that, I know the requirements on credit can be a little high, I think, I mean, high, talking about 640, 660, I'm not sure. But it's 100% finance, so that will help a lot of buyers without money to put down. But I can't tell you exactly until I have, the specifications.
And you
What
would know.
cre-
Go
What
ahead.
credit bureau do they usually use? The highest one? They try to go with the highest. your
I don't do
highest
loans, I
credit
only do
score?
They go with the
sales,
middle one.
The-
but they,
We
yeah.
have three of them, 650, 612, and 582. They're gonna use the 612. 612 could be any one of them. The bureaus themselves, they all have different ways of scoring you. There's really no science that I can really tell you this is how they do it.
Don't that one particular lender, whomever you chose to use, don't they all use different mid-score? Or is the mid-scores
I think
generic
I
across the board?
I don't do loans, so
Everybody
he's the-
uses what
the
they call
expert.
credit repositories, which is just the company that they use to actually pull the reports. So you have three different bureaus that report: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. But there's companies that gather all of that information, put on one report. So the only difference is really what company you're using to gather all the information. But the scores, I mean, everybody should pretty much pull the same scores.
No, but what I'm asking is, your company might use TransUnion.
No, it's not specific.
They
to
have to
one.
use the
Okay.
We
three.
It's
run-
just- it's
they're
just
they're
the-
called tri-merge reports,
Okay.
meaning that we do all three of them, and whichever one falls in the middle, that's the one that they use.
Yeah, I always heard.
So it's
the
like
three
averaging
years.
then?
Yeah, so, yeah,
It's not even an average, it's just
wherever
the
you're getting
number.
a loan,
Okay.
for any place, even a car loan, they all use your mid-score. Again, your high score
And
can be
when you have-
700,
and
your
like-
mid-score can be
600.
Exactly, and your low score.
And I've seen
Yeah,
it, and
exactly.
what happens is some
580.
companies report stuff that others don't. So you pull a report, Equifax has your Citibank card at zero balance, but Experian still shows that it's at $542 of balance. So Experian is gonna have the lower credit score because it's not reflecting zero like the other one is.
So it brought me back to you, where you were telling me that you wanted to wait for your score to go up to 700. But that score, it may not even be used, so we don't know for sure, based on what the other two has, they're gonna still use the lowest,
I
yeah.
mean, the best way is for the lender to, tell you this is where you need to be at, because, I have a buyer right now, she makes pretty good money, but her ratios are really high. So regardless of how much money she makes and having a good credit, she still has a lot of debt.
Yeah.
So,
On a side note, because everybody tells me, Credit Karma. My Credit Karma.
that stuff is
My
not
Credit Karma
accurate.
says.
But Credit Karma not accurate.
So Credit Karma says you could run your credit 100 times a month if you want. Reason why is because the scoring models
It's
that they
only
use.
two.
It's one,
You go
two
fast
They
and
have-
transfer.
they don't have the three
Use
bureaus.
Credit
Yeah,
Karma
two of
and
the
Credit
Oh, well,
Wise
yeah,
for
okay.
Experian.
Well,
Credit
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
use. That's what I use.
Yeah, but either way, what it is
That's what
it
it's not
doesn't
accurate.
affect you because they don't use the scoring models that lenders use. So you can run your credit every day with Credit Karma. You check it every single day. Their scores are never going to be the same. But it is good. It's good to the degree that if you know your scores are a little low, I can tell you this: if you go check Credit Karma says you're in the 500s, you're going to be in the 500s. That's for sure. Yeah.